Hey there, Chetzemoka. This is Alex Kamal, presently of the Razorback. Naomi, if you're there, I'd appreciate you giving me a sign. I'd sort of like to make sure it's you before we come over. Your ship's been acting a mite odd and we're a little on the jumpy side. Don't, she said, knowing he couldn't hear. Stay away. Stay away. Everything hurt. Everything whirled. Nothing was easy. When she got to her feet, her head swam. She was afraid she was going to pass out, but if she bent over, she wasn't sure she'd have enough strength to stand back up. She had to find a way to wave him off. She had to keep him from getting close enough to be caught in the blast. Whether it saved her life or not didn't matter. She'd had her good day. It was more than she'd expected, and she was so deeply weary. Hey guys, Pete here. Time to discuss what might happen in the Season 5 finale of The Expanse. There's a lot going on with the individual members of the Rossi crew, and 2/3 of them are heading in the same direction or going to the same place. This video will pick up where my episode 9 breakdown left off, and we'll discuss where all the characters are at in their stories and speculate about what might happen in episode 10. No spoilers about what's to come, but there is still a spoiler warning. If you aren't caught up with The Expanse through Season 5, Episode 9, then this video won't be for you. As someone who's read them, I will be referring to the books, but won't mention any future spoilers from them. With that out of the way, let's get going. As a book reader, the finale is a different beast when it comes to talking about what might happen. I know what happens at the end of book 5. That has ramifications for everything that comes after that, and so there's some stuff that I can't even speculate, like with air quotes about. For example, Amos, Clarissa, and Eric made it off planet Earth, and I don't think there's going to be many changes in what happens when they get to Luna. For that, I'll just throw out this reminder about their situation. Clarissa is, by any definition, an escaped convict. She was serving a life sentence for multiple homicides. She wouldn't be able to travel anywhere, and beyond that, she tried to kill the captain of Amos's ship. Eric does bring some unique skills to the table as a hacker and someone who can fake IDs. Remember, he's the one who gave Timmy the Amos Burton identity that got him off Earth in the first place. But even if he could do that for Peaches, there's still this issue with Holden. In universe so far, nothing's happened to make Holden change his mind about her. Amos's trip to Earth reaffirmed his commitment to the Rossi and its crew. So those are the facts as we've seen them. And it's probably best that I just leave that there. On the other hand, one area where things are sort of wide open is with the Rocinante. This is a big question mark since Drummer and her faction has been added to the equation. Right now, the Rossi is burning towards Naomi, and they're going there after the Zemaya blew itself up, which also didn't happen in the books. I know the point of Holden's arc in the 5th book and how that plays out, but in the show's version of events, there's a lot of unrelated stuff floating around him. Bull and Monica are both added to the Rossi. If you've been following my videos, you know I think that Monica probably is going to play a role in figuring out that the protomolecule sample got away. Didn't really see anything to change that in the last episode. I mentioned that I thought Bull was kind of suspicious and he seemed almost hostile every time that Naomi came up. And there might be something there, but when I went back and watched the scenes as I was writing this script, I realized that he's also playing the role of the cautious one to keep Holden in check. They went through a lot of PDC rounds, destroying all the torpedoes that the Zemaya had fired. And that was one of Bull's sort of throwaway lines, that we don't have enough bullets to fight all of the Belter ships that are out there. So there might be something suspicious going on with Bull, but he might just be the grumpy voice of reason as well. Marco ordering Drummer to go after the Rocinante is a really big change. In episode 9, he told her to go meet up with the Serial Mal and the Koto, and those are Martian ships. That's been confirmed in the show when they sent that message to Karal a couple episodes back. The Rocinante is one badass gunship that's low on bullets. With the Koto and the Serial Mal, the other side basically has 2 of their own Rossis, and then they'll have Drummer's 3 ships on top of that. The odds don't look good, and really the Rossi coming out ahead in a fair fight with a replacement crew 5-on-1, it wouldn't make for the most believable outcome. There's really been no introduction of a resistance to the Free Navy among the Belters, and Avasarala mentioned that the UN had pulled their fleets back to protect the inner planets. I guess there's an outside chance that she could help out, but really it feels like it's all pointing towards Drummer. She's in a crazy situation. She's dedicated herself to this new family, and that's gotten her in bed with the Free Navy. Her new boss, Marco, is directly responsible for the deaths of people who were important to her. The deaths of Ashford, Fred Johnson, and now she knows that he strapped Naomi, a woman that she loves, to a bomb. It's really hard to see how she doesn't break away, but at the same time, there's immediate consequences. Considering that Karal knows this and takes every opportunity to push Drummer, knowing that she doesn't want anything to happen to Serge, is really something that's going to have to be addressed. If they rendezvous with the Koto and the Cereal Mall, I think a victory against the Rocinante would be guaranteed. So she either has to come up with a plan, somehow create a diversion where she can escape in one of the ships, which, think about it, that wouldn't be easy to do. There's no reason why they wouldn't just hunt her down and destroy the ship. I'm really interested to see what she does. I have no idea, really. She is loosely based on a character that has an important role in the 6th book, but this is all pretty much uncharted territory, so we're gonna have to wait and see. For Naomi's story, some of the details are different with the Chetzemoka, but it's mostly the same. Her escape and what she's done on the Chetzemoka so far is where they've stuck closest to the book as far as the major storylines go, except maybe with Amos and Clarissa. We know from the end of the last episode that Alex and Bobbie are closing in on her location, and she's going to have to try to figure out a way to warn them about the proximity trigger that's attached to her ship. This is another area where I shouldn't speculate too much since I probably know what's going to happen, but there is one added dimension of excitement here, and that's Alex's future. As you know, the actor who plays Alex is not going to be returning to season 6, and I've stayed away from speculating about what they were going to do with that because those allegations that got him fired didn't come out until after they had finished filming season 5. For that reason, they didn't write this season. They didn't start out with a plan to write him out of the script. That said, there are a lot of rumors out there that the show will actually send him off. They added something, or at least they'll address it in some way, not leave it hanging. I can't confirm any of those things, but they could mess around and kill him off. It is possible. I mean, it's a bad situation all the way around. Alex is an important character throughout the rest of the series. There's no doubt about that. At the same time, recasting him always seemed kind of weird, though, when they're only guaranteed to do one more season. He's important, as I said, but it's kind of how he works with the other characters, though. In my mind, he pairs up with the others more than he has these big major development arcs in his story. And so out of the main crew, he is the easiest one to imagine them writing out. The actor not coming back does present an opportunity to have a shocking event that nobody saw coming in the finale, though. I'm not sure how they would do that or how they would go about it, but the thought keeps creeping into the back of my mind. That's not to say there aren't easier ways to take him out of the story, and I could also see them doing something like having him decide to go back to Mars, to go be with his son, or something along those lines. Just walk away from it all in light of all the changes that the Free Navy and the rocks falling are bringing to the solar system. It doesn't really jive with his story of being a guy who needs to be out there flying on these long trips, and that being the reason he left his wife in the first place. But that might be the best that they can do with a bad set of circumstances. It'll be interesting to see where they go with it. The changes in Sol System are something I expect to learn more about to set the stage for the final season. The Mars Parliament building being attacked hasn't been mentioned since episode 4. Sauveterre and the Bar Keith are still out there somewhere. We haven't heard of them really much at all. And we know things are pretty chaotic in some of the major cities on Earth. I have ideas about what's going on with these things from reading the books. I'm hoping to learn more about all of them in the finale, and I'm interested to hear what your theories are in the comments, especially if you haven't read the book. With Avasarala sliding into the Secretary General role in the last episode, I'm guessing we'll get some things from her. It's interesting when you think about what they did with her this season. She was sort of locked out when Nancy Gal took over. She figured out what was going on with the rocks and no one would listen to her. Then they brought her back in and still no one wanted to listen to her because she was advocating for a non-violent response. Now she's back in the driver's seat and the situation could potentially be getting much worse. They did attack Palace Station and her thoughts about that probably were right. That probably would radicalize a lot of Belters. So we'll see what they do with her, what's going on. Hopefully we'll find out more about the overall situation on Earth as far as the after effects of the rocks hitting and how hard that might make her job in the future. The last thing that I need to mention is Marco and the Free Navy. They've sort of been going around doing something, but we never really see what it is. We don't know what their plan is. We've seen him staring at monitors quite often. We've seen him monitoring the activity of the UN and Martian fleets. We've seen him looking at the ring gates. In episode 9, there was another moment where he was looking at something going towards the ring. And someone pointed this out in the comments that in the opening of each episode, they show his fleet and it's moved to a different place at the beginning of each episode. They were by Jupiter, then Saturn, and in the opening of episode 9, they were doing a flyby of Uranus. That is the planet that is nearest the ring gate. So that is interesting that we see them moving in that direction, at least in the opening sequences. Beyond that, it's a mystery, and man, I can't wait to find out. I'm really excited for this final episode. It's been a lot of fun covering this season, and I wanted to thank everyone for watching. I've got a handful of other Expanse videos that'll be coming out over the next couple of weeks. Of course, I'll be doing a breakdown of the finale and an ending explained, but I have some other topics I want to tackle as well to set up things for the long wait until season 6. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you're thinking about in the comments. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon.